Okay, let's do this example problem just to help you out with some of the homework problems. In exercises 7 to 8, we're going to do number 7 from the homework, which is different from in the book, which is different from what you're going to get online, I believe. Which mortgage loan has the greater total cost? Closing cost plus amount paid per points plus total cost of interest. By how much? Okay, so let's take a look at the first one. So mortgage A. I'm going to work on mortgage A over here, work on mortgage B over here, okay? So a 30-year fixed rate at 7% with closing costs of $2,000 and 1 point. All right. So 30-year fixed. So first of all, we're going to find out 30-year 2,001 point. So let's do that first of all. The 1 point. So that'd be 120,000 times 0.01. Okay. And what does that come out to on your calculator? You guys can do. Well, first of all, I forgot a 0 in there. 120,000. So that's $1,200. So that's part of the cost. Okay, so I'm going to start to kind of underline the things we need to keep track of here. And then the 30-year fixed rate, we got to find our payment, right? So we're going to use that payment formula. Our monthly payment is going to be P times R over N over 1 plus 1 minus R over N to the minus NT, which would be, the principal is $120,000 times my rate, which is 0.07, 12 months a year is how often I have a payment. And then that's all over 1 plus, or I got those mixed up, my bad, shoot. That should be 1 minus, and that's a plus, my bad. We fix that. One plus, and that's 0.07 over 12 to the minus 12. And this is a 30-year fixed rate. Okay, let me plug that in the calculator here a minute. Okay, that is approximately equal to $798 per month. Excuse the garbage truck in the background, working on a dumpster next to where I live. You could probably hear that in the background. So that's $798. Let's do the other one now, and then don't forget, so that's going to be a cost. We're going to have to keep track of that. We're going to mess with that in a minute. And then we've also got closing costs over here of $2,000. Okay, now let's work on the other one. It says mortgage a 30-year fixed rate 6.5% with closing costs of $1,504 points. Okay, so let's do the 4 points first. So the 4 points is going to be 120 grand times 0.04. That's going to give me my points. So that's 120,000 times 0.04. That's $4,800. Okay, so we're going to have to keep track of that one. Whoops, I don't know why I write 4,880. So that's $4,800. Let's keep track of that. Now we're going to figure out our payment. Same method. I'm going to do a little dashed line here to keep track of this. So our payment is going to be P, which is 120,000 times R over N, which is 0.065 in this case, over 12. That's going to be all over 1 minus 1 plus 0.065 over 12 to the minus 12 times 30. Let me do that on the calculator quick. Okay, that is $758 roughly. Okay, so let's keep track of that information. And then it looks like we got closing costs of $1,500, so I got to keep track of that information as well. Okay, so I have all the information I need to keep track of. So the closing cost, the amount paid for points, and the total cost of interest. Okay, So we got to find these different figures for these. So in order in this problem, part B, let's work with that since we're working with that right now. To find the total interest, I'd want to take the total amount of the payments, okay, down here. Take the total amount of the payments, which is $4,800, and in 30 years, there are 360 payments. And I want to subtract that from the total mortgage cost, the purchase price there, the mortgage cost, to get the total amount of interest I paid. So that'd be 4,800 times 360 is the total amount I'm going to pay in the payments. Oh, wait, what am I doing? No, my bad. My bad. Whoops, I'm grabbing the wrong figure. Delete that. That was correct reasoning. I put the wrong numbers in, okay? So let's do that again. It's the total amount that I'm going to pay over 30 years. And the monthly payment was $758, not $4,800. I was just grabbing the wrong number. So it'd be $758 times the 360 payments in 30 years. That's 30 times 12. And then I'm going to subtract off the $120,000. Okay, so 758 times 360 is, and then I subtract off the 120,000, enter, and my interest on this one, okay, I'm going to erase a little bit now because we don't need it anymore. I'm going to erase this payment part. So my interest now in this one is, what I just got is $152,880. So that's going to pay on interest, okay? So that's my total interest. And then I'm going to erase this, but this is my closing costs. That was $1,500. Okay, so now I've got those three figures, okay? So let's do that on the other one now. So now that I've figured all those out on that one, let's do it on this one. So on this one, I'm going to erase a little bit. I'm out of room, but my payment was $798. Let's try to remember that just because I'm running out of room here. So my payment was $798. So to find my closing costs are right here. We already got that. $2,000. My interest will be $798 per month times 360 months minus $120,000. Let's do that. 798 times 360, enter. Subtract out the 120 grand, which is the original amount. That's the amount of the loan. So this will give me the interest. And enter. And that's 167,280. Okay, so those are those three figures. Well, if I add up these three figures now, if you look up above here, the closing costs plus the amount paid for points plus the total cost of interest. So that's the three underlined things there. So this first one is going to be adding those three things underlined in orange. This one is going to be 1,070,480. And this loan B, adding those up, 152,880 plus 4,800 plus 1,500 is 159,180. So I guess the question would be, the next is, which mortgage loan has the greater total cost and by how much? Well, it looks like this one costs more right here. And then it's by how much, we just subtract it. And that's easy to do. I'm not going to do that part. So that's kind of a longer problem that incorporates a lot of the stuff. This is the kind of thing you'd expect to see on a quiz. Again, I found the closing costs they give you. 1 point is 1%, so you take the 120,000 times the 1 point, or in the case of 4 points, you take the 120,000 by the 4 points, okay? And then to figure out your interest, remember how you do that is you take the total amount of all the payments minus the mortgage amount. That gets you your interest amount. So we're basically trying to figure out is which one is going to cost us more in interest, closing costs, and points. And that should help you to get the homework done. Oh, and by the way, guys, we're not going to do section 8.8. I looked at the outcomes and objectives just to verify, and that has been taken out of the outcomes and objectives, so we're not going to do that one either. It turns out the two of the sections in 8 are no longer in there, so we do not have to do them. So we're going to go ahead and skip that. So we're only doing this section today. And by the way, your Easter egg for this section is 563,888. That's 563,888.